Good morning. It is about 9:30 a.m. on a holiday and I am in, guess where I am? I'm in Ginza right now. So since today is a public holiday in Japan, I'm thinking I might want to spend some time walking around Ginza, and I actually want to buy some sheet music at a store in Ginza, but it opens at 11 and I still have about 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna eat breakfast at a Ginza-ten, which is a traditional retro style cafe. I'm gonna have breakfast there and then maybe read a book, chill for a bit, and then go to the music store at around 11 o'clock. I do have a place in mind. It's called Torikororu Ginza. I think I see it. It's my first time there, and as you can see, I'm not using any maps. It's quite warm today, but not as hot as yesterday, even though the sky's more clear. Because actually, clouds trap heat within the Earth's atmosphere. And the day before yesterday, it was quite hot, and there was residue heat that radiated from the Earth yesterday, and the clouds covered the Earth, which made it hotter than usual. Anyway, that's not the kind of channel I'm doing. Oh, so we're here. This is a Ginza-ten called Torikororu Ginza. This is the cafe's morning menu with a selection of breakfast items and cakes, as well as coffee, tea, and juice. This cafe is quite popular with locals. The interior is very retro, reminiscent of how coffee shops looked during the Showa period. This particular book I'm reading is a memoir written by someone who worked at Studio Ghibli. The book details his experience working there as the resident foreigner, in charge of localizing and exporting the films to international markets. It's really interesting. This type of Western-style breakfast in Japan is called a morningu, or morning, and it usually consists of coffee, some toast, and some veggies. All right. Phew, I am full. I mean, the breakfast plate wasn't that big. It was a big piece of toast, but it was just a piece of toast and some leaves. So it wasn't like a huge breakfast, but I don't always have breakfast. So when I eat in the morning, it does feel a bit heavy sometimes. It's about 10:45 right now. I still have a little bit of time before the music shop opens. So I think I'll walk around Ginza for now. This is one of the main streets in Ginza called Miyuki. Oh, I think this Matsukyo is relatively new. Never noticed it here before. One thing I like about Ginza is that it's not usually that crowded in the mornings. If you look across the street, that's the Uniqlo flagship store. I believe it's the biggest one in Japan and possibly the world. So the whole building is Uniqlo. It's about 7 stories. And we have a large Abercrombie and Fitch building right across the street. I'm surprised it's lasted so long in Ginza actually, because I'm not quite sure who comes to buy Abercrombie and Fitch in Ginza, and especially in Japan. Is it even popular? Right now we are in Ginza Rokchome, so the 6th sector of Ginza. A lot of neighborhoods in Japan are separated by cho, which is a way of separating different parts of a certain neighborhood. It's quite convenient in determining where you need to go and which area you have to be in. There's also a large GU a few steps away from Uniqlo. GU is a slightly more affordable clothing brand that's produced by the same company as Uniqlo. Uniqlo is already quite affordable, but GU is super affordable. Alright, I'm back at the main Ginza crossing. At the crossing there are quite a few department stores. The main one being this one, department store called Mitsukoshi. And if you can see across the street, on the 2nd floor of the Mitsukoshi department store, there is La Durée, which I've been to only once. It's quite nice. You can eat your macarons and drink your tea while looking out on this crosswalk. And just before I head to the music store, I'm going to drop by this bakery called Kimuraya. It's a very popular and traditional bakery that has a long history. There's a cafe on the 2nd floor of this building, but their bakery is on the 1st floor. Yay, I have my bread! This will be my breakfast for the next few days. And actually, just beside the bakery is the music store that I'm going to. It's called Yamano Gakki. The whole building is full of instruments and music scores. I know what you're thinking. Why am I taking the elevator from the 2nd floor to the 3rd floor? Well, in my defense, there was no escalator or stairs nearby, so I just took the elevator. Shelves and shelves of sheet music are lined up here for different instruments. And these look like they're masks for choir practice. They're actually kind of expensive. This is the J-pop and J-rock section. They have scores for songs by a large range of artists such as Alexandros, Ikimonogakari, and Spitz, as well as Glay, Perfume, and Back Number, The Hiatus, and so on. As we get closer to lunchtime, the Ginza streets are starting to get busy. Alright, now that I have my sheet music, it's just before noon, so I think it's about time I head back home. I'm going to be walking back to Hibiya, which I introduced in my previous video, and take the train from there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!